Do you have the handle? The other handle?
Boré?
Do you have the Bore handy? We do this? Moi, faut vraiment que je le compte celle-là parce que ça rentre, ça rentre weird.
Eating so many Lays, man. Jesus. Yeah, I'm just eating a whole bag of chips this morning.
I don't know how you can eat chips in the morning.
You never heard that before? It's my favorite term for cacking
Okay,
nuts.
let's. Ready? We do it? And DC, eh? No repeat on the DC. Ready?
Bonjour, messieurs, dames.
You'll have it perfect
Je
by
m'appelle
tomorrow.
Brendan Gillen.
I'm gonna nail that by.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brendan Gillen.
I think we get all these warm-ups.
Je vous souhaite, au nom de l'Université McGill, la bienvenue
Miss our bow.
à la collation des grades de la Faculté des Arts ce matin. So I welcome you on behalf of McGill University to this morning's convocation for the Faculty of Arts. Before we get started, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to join me in giving a very warm round of applause for the Brian Sands Quintet. I have to say that one of the attractions of coming to convocation is to hear them play live music. It's wonderful. The ceremony will begin shortly. La cérémonie va commencer bientôt, mais je vais juste prendre quelques minutes pour souligner plusieurs moments importants dans le déroulement de la cérémonie. So I'm going to take a few moments here just to outline a few important points concerning the procedure of the unfolding of the ceremony. La cérémonie commence avec l'entrée du cortège d'honneur et va terminer avec son départ. Juste avant l'entrée du cortège, je vais vous demander de vous lever. So the ceremony will begin with the entrance of the so-called platform party and it'll end with its departure. And just before it arrives, I'll be asking you to stand. Une fois le cortège est installé sur la tribune, la docteure Tracy Smith-Bassett va chanter l'hymne de l'université. So once the platform party is settled here on the platform, Dr. Tracy Smith-Bassett will sing the national anthem. Ensuite, le chancelier Michael Meehan et la principale et vice-chancelière Suzanne Fortier vous adresseront chacun un petit discours, suivi par l'allocution par le professeur Marshall Salins, qui aura juste reçu un doctorat honoris causa. So there'll be a brief address first by the Chancellor of the University, Michael Meehan, followed by a brief address by the Vice Chancellor and Principal, Suzanne Fortier, And then the recipient of the honorary doctorate, Professor Marshall Solins, will then give the convocation address. Après la remise des diplômes, la secrétaire générale Edith Rogowska va prononcer un bref discours suivi par le chant de l'hymne national par Dr. Tracy Smith Bissett. So once the diplomas have been conferred, there will be a few brief remarks by the Secretary General, Edith Rogowska, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Dr. Tracy Smith Bissett. At that point, the platform party will leave, and we'll ask that the recently diplomaed students depart starting from the row in front, proceeding successively to the row in back. Donc à la fin, le cortège d'honneur va partir, suivi par les diplômés qui vont sortir en commençant par le premier rang ici en avant et procédant au fur et à mesure jusqu'au fond. À ce moment, j'invite le doyen adjoint des étudiants, Glenn Zabowski, de vous informer des mesures de sécurité mises en place dans le très peu probable éventualité d'une urgence. So we'll now turn the podium over to the Associate Dean for Students, Glenn Zabowski, to quickly go over for you the emergency measures that have been put in place in the very unlikely event that there is indeed an emergency. Glenn.
Welcome to McGill University and to this year's convocation. We're so pleased that you've joined us here today. Congratulations on the success of your graduating friend or family member. You must be very proud. And we actually are very fortunate to have a beautiful day of weather after 2 miserable, cold, rainy days, Monday, Tuesday. So we're ending on a high note today. My name is Glenn Zabowski, and my role is to tell you about our emergency evacuation procedures. McGill has an emergency plan in place in the unlikely event that a situation arises. I will share that part with you now. Si une évacuation des lieux devenait nécessaire, le régisseur en fera l'annonce. Vous devrez alors quitter la tente sans tarder. Selon les circonstances, vous devrez vous rendre dans un autre bâtiment ou sur le terrain en face de la tente de l'autre côté de la rue. If you are told to evacuate, please do the following. Leave all baby strollers behind, but please, of course, take your children with you. Do not go with your graduating student. They will be going elsewhere. Follow instructions of security officers and ushers. If an evacuation is to another building, follow the colored lines on the roadway outside the tent that correspond to the color of your chair. There is an evacuation map on the back of your program that you can refer to. If you need assistance during an evacuation, please speak with an usher or a security officer. Une fois la situation d'urgence passée, des annonces seront faites aux emplacements d'évacuation pour vous indiquer la suite. L'information à ce propos sera aussi publiée sur le site mcgill.ca. En tout temps, si vous ou un membre de votre groupe requiert une assistance médicale, indiquez-le à un agent de sécurité ou à un placier. Thank you for your attention. The platform party is getting queued up and will be here shortly. Have a wonderful day, and once again, congratulations.
So just before the platform party arrives, there's a 3-minute video for you.
My name is Maria Gracia. I'm originally from Chile, and I did honors in Latin American Studies and International Development.
My name is Akil Varani, and I'm a visual artist and graphic designer based in Montreal. I graduated in 2012.
Je m'appelle Guillaume Drouin-Garneau, je suis ancien de McGill. J'ai gradué en 2012.
Once I graduated, I really wanted to find a way to stay connected with the university. I did some research and found the McGill Women's Alumni Association. It really spoke to me because of their mission to promote women's leadership and highlight what female grads have been contributing to the community.
Ma participation au sein du club cycliste de McGill, je pense qu'on est une super belle gang, puis encore aujourd'hui, on voit des anciens, des jeunes qui sont étudiants, puis on fait des sorties ensemble, on partage une passion.
How I got involved with the mentor-mentee program with the McGill Alumni Association was actually I was trying to find a way to give my time to McGill.
I definitely recommend any mentorship program, whether it's having a connection to other people or advice from someone who's been through it.
To try and figure out what you want to do is not as clear-cut as people think. It's important to be able to tell people that if you have those fears, those concerns, they're normal.
I've spoken at homecoming events, the McGill Young Alumni Association. I recently created a live artwork at the hashtag Law Needs Feminism Because National Forum.
Through McGill Connect, I was introduced to this global network of McGill alumni who I had something in common with. Once I sort of had my industry figured out, my next step was, how am I going to get abroad? Ultimately, through connecting with so many different alumni on the McGill Connect platform, I made the decision that London, England would be best for me to kickstart my career.
I want to wish the graduating class all the best of luck.
This is the beginning of a very exciting new chapter in your life, where hopefully you feel prepared and excited.
Bonne chance à tous, je vous souhaite du succès dans vos projets futurs. Je pense que vous êtes passé à travers une institution qui vous permet d'avoir accès à tout ce que vous voulez. Donc, have fun, enjoy the ride, and be patient.
So we got our timing so well done today that you don't get the fashion show that we were going to do regarding the regalia. Sorry about that. So not yet, but in a few moments I'll be asking you to stand. So just a few moments of patience, please. Please rise. Levez-vous, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Dr. Smith-Bissett. Good morning, graduating students, families, friends, ladies and gentlemen. As Chancellor and on behalf of McGill University, it's my pleasure to welcome you today to our beautiful and drier downtown campus to celebrate the class of 2017 and the students graduating from the Faculty of Arts. Today we begin a new tradition at McGill University's convocations by opening the ceremony with a message of thanksgiving and greeting to the natural world. I invite Dewa Giuakwa Louise MacDonald Hearn, a Bear Clan mother from the Akwesasne Mohawk Territory, to the podium.
Segas waguego, wagilagats to yungatson waxkalewage. Etonu ni duagena ne Akwesasne ganyet gahaga. Tananegi wahi wat gonu huladu jogoganskan and wizwawe. Tananegi wahi tunugwadi get ni gulayela did the kinhalado gwegi wahi ne ungwe suwa. Ni yukini stone huja. Ohnaga suwa, ohunde suwa. Gayan tosla, uji daangua. Gaeli ni gawalage, yeti sato goa la diwelas. Chidawache yakeneka galakwa, tana eto nuwe. Yogani halat nene gaeli nyugwe dege, yeti sato jijizo, tanane oni nesakwaya dizo. Today I bring you greetings from the natural world, for my people that have for many generations. Before we begin ceremonies, we do the words before all else. And so, for Convocation 2017, I stand before you as we assemble this morning to not only celebrate your achievements, but as McGill compliments this day by bestowing upon you a new tradition. Certainly, I consider this a most historical moment. I, Mama Bear, am honored to respond to the calling of this country's new mandate. In this era of truth and reconciliation, and as original stewards and owner of this place we call our home and native land, Canada, in its infancy as a country, adopts for my people, from within our language, a word, Ganada, to name itself. And now 150 years later, it stands at the forefront of reconciling its relationship with the original peoples of this land. So what does this mean to you as McGill answers the call of the TRC? Consider this a pivotal time in all our histories, a proud moment for Canadians. And I ask you to hold close this moment as you are on privileged ground, because despite the termination policies of this country to rid itself of its Indian problem, the fact that I stand here today is a testament to what true resiliency is. And the fact that I'm still intact with my original language and that I know who I am, it defies the odds. It's resilience in its finest form. So, I, Mama Bear, Mama Bear, with great resolve, address you with a kind heart to officially usher in a new consciousness that you will soon inherit, and that is to tap into the untapped wisdom of Indigenous people. So I now declare this convocation open on these Indigenous lands. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Mama Bear. It's wonderful to look out at this audience and see this inspiring group of graduates, supporters, family, and friends. and it's an honor for me to be here to share this important milestone with you. D'abord, permettez-moi de vous transmettre à vous tous des félicitations bien senties. I have a keen appreciation of what this day means. Once upon a time, when dinosaurs ruled the land, I too was part of a graduating class at McGill, and it was a proud moment in my life. Some considerable time later, I returned on 2 occasions as the parent of McGill graduates, and like all parents here today, I beamed with pride. And now as Chancellor, I have the privilege of attending convocation ceremonies each year, so you can say that I've seen graduation from almost every angle. Que j'y assiste à titre de diplômé, de parent ou de chancelier, cette cérémonie demeure pour moi une célébration du travail assidu, de la détermination, des sacrifices et d'une réussite grandement méritée. Alors bravo et chapeau bas à vous tous. Although I'm not a psychic, I think I can predict some of the things that will happen to you in the immediate future. There will certainly be much celebration, much wining and dining, lots of photos, which will then be shared on social media. And there will be advice, lots and lots of advice, from many sources, parents, friends, relatives, professors, you name it. So before you hear from all these people, I'd like to get my 2 cents in and offer my own advice to you. And I warn you, it's worth exactly what you're paying for it. Today, for better or worse, we all live in a very connected world. Thanks to social media, we can all express our opinion, voice our support, or declare our outrage, and do it all in real time, anytime. By the time I finish this sentence, 60,000 tweets will have been posted on Twitter, hopefully not all about my speech. The fact is, we live in an immediate world. We find out about news immediately. We react to news immediately. We post our opinion immediately. Instant Twitter outrage and public shaming are now just part of our reality. So my very modest advice to you is just this. I'd like you to consider the value of stepping back from that very human urge to rush to judgment, to resist the temptation to jump to conclusions or to jump on a bandwagon. I come to this perspective through my own experience, having served in the Senate of Canada for over 20 years. Now, I know there are differing views on this venerable institution, but for my part and for most of my colleagues, I took the responsibility seriously. I took the view that I was really there to provide sober second thought, in other words, to consider legislation, examine the background, impact, and consequences, and make an intelligent assessment and recommendations. As students at McGill, you've acquired the same skills during your time here. When working on a paper or a project or a problem, you gather information, assess the sources, look at differing points of view, and then draw conclusions based on your best judgment. This is a wonderful and elegant tool to take into the world, and I urge you not to lose it and to use the principles and methods that you've learned here and apply them to your everyday experiences and to society around you. And above all, I urge you to insist on nothing less than empirical facts and data as the basis for your opinions. In some cases, this process will confirm your views. In other cases, it may cause you to change your mind or even prompt you to engage in constructive dialogue. This is not just a sign of intelligence. In our society today, it's a sign of integrity and courage. Leonard Cohen left a wonderful legacy of songs and poems and prose. And I want to close with a quote from him, which summarizes my thoughts to you today. He said, "To keep your hearts open is probably the most urgent responsibility you have as you get older." And believe me, you will get older. So do keep your hearts open. Be generous of spirit, quick to comfort those in need, and measured and considerate in your words and deeds. And remember to keep your hearts open to your friends here at McGill. Because wherever you go in the world, this will always be your home, and we will always cheer your successes and accomplishments. So do stay in touch, and not just today, but throughout your lifelong journey as a McGill grad. Good luck, and may this day be both a joyous ending and an auspicious beginning for you all. Thank you. Merci. Je voudrais maintenant inviter la professeure Suzanne Fortier, principale et vice-chancelière de l'Université McGill, à s'adresser à l'auditoire. Madame Fortier.
Bienvenue aux finissants de 2017. Welcome to the graduating class of 2017. I'm joined here today by your families and your friends, by our Chancellor Emerita, by the Chair of the Board, our Governors and Governors Emeriti, by our distinguished honorary degree recipient, awards recipients, by special guests and esteemed colleagues. We are here together to say how proud we are of you and of everything that has brought you here today. C'est pour nous tous un immense bonheur de vous féliciter pour vos réalisations et votre persévérance. You've worked hard on your journey to be here today. Today is an important milestone. Savor it, enjoy it, celebrate it, remember it, and remember also all the friends you've made at McGill. Keep them close. Convocation is a celebration, and there are many of us here with you to celebrate. Of course, your family and your friends, professors, librarians, and staff. You know, they've all been cheering for you from day one. So I would like to invite you, the graduate, to please stand up and give a big round of applause to all those people who've been cheering for you. Merci beaucoup. Merci. You know, these people will never stop rooting for you, and they'll be there for you whatever you choose to do next. And we know that there will be great projects ahead for you, because we know that you have a mind that knows how to learn, and that you will use it to do great things. Over the years, as I've watched you on campus, I've been calling you names. I've called you the startup generation. I've called you the walk the talk generation. And I've called you the broadband generation. Because unlike any generations before you, you are ready for action. You are ready to make an impact on the world. Your thoughts and your ideas are spreading at an incredible speed across the planet. You have influence and perhaps far more power than you realize. You're part of a new revolution which is transforming the way we live, work, and relate to one another. Take hold of the changes that are happening and make it your goal to see them benefit everyone across the world. Build the future of our country and our world as inclusive places. This may sound a bit daunting, but of course, it's not on your shoulders alone. You will turn to others seeking purpose, sharing and questioning ideas, and discovering new opportunities. You already know how to work as a team, and we've seen you do that at our university. And I want to share with you just one example of great teamwork. It happened last February. I was at a Martlet women's hockey game. They were playing against the Carleton Ravens. I must say I was feeling pretty good because with 35 seconds left in the game, our Martlets were leading 6-4. Now, of course, the Ravens pulled their goalie out of the net, and we saw our team captain zip down the ice, find herself in front of the net with the puck, and she did not score. No, did not score. Instead, what she did is pass the puck to her teammate, giving her teammate a hat trick and first star in the game. And I must say that all of us who were watching just said, wow, what a great example of a great and a true team spirit, putting your teammate and your team ahead first. Now, while we're on the topic of great team spirit, I want to recognize the outstanding contribution of Stuart Kip Cobbett, the chair of McGill's Board of Governors, who will be completing his term at the end of June. Kip has been an exceptional member of Team McGill, serving our university in so many ways, from president of the Alumni Association to valued member of just about every governance committee. He truly is what we call an MVP. Loyal, present, generous with his time and good advice, and always ready to do his part. So I want to thank you, Kip, for your loyalty, friendship, and exemplary service to our university. Thank you also to Kathleen Massey, who will be leaving McGill after nearly 10 years as the University Registrar and Executive Director of Enrollment Services. We're grateful, Kathleen, for your unwavering commitment to McGill students and the university community. Finally, thank you to all of you, the 2017 graduates. You've made great contributions to our university during your time here, et nous savons que vous allez continuer à faire rayonner notre université à travers le monde. Vous faites maintenant partie d'une belle et grande famille, et j'espère que vous considérez toujours McGill comme votre maison. Les portes vous seront toujours très grandes ouvertes. Revenez nous voir le plus souvent possible. We are eager to learn about your lives, your successes, and all the places your education will take you. Félicitations, congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Fortier. Professor Antonia Maioni, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, will now present this year's winner of the H. Noel Fieldhouse Award for distinguished teaching in the Faculty of Arts. Professor Maioni.
Madame la Vice-Chancelière, Madam Vice-Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that the Faculty of Arts Committee on Teaching presents the H. Noel Fieldhouse Award to Heather McIntosh. As a leader in the Masters in Couple and Family Therapy program, Professor McIntosh has engaged in extensive curriculum development. It is her absolute commitment to the integration of clinical teaching with research and practice that has led her to develop innovative and challenging experiential learning techniques. In one course, actors are used to introduce students to working with a range of different couple and family situations. In another, actors take on the role of a specific couple who the students follow over the entire term to replicate a course of therapy. All of these simulations are based on scenarios written by her. But Professor McIntosh does not hire actors. Rather, she sees this as an opportunity for cross-disciplinary teaching and learning. In an unprecedented example of teaching innovation and creativity, she created and co-teaches these cross-listed courses with Professor Myrna Wyatt-Selkirk from the Department of English Drama and Theatre. The courses teach the student actors improvisational skills through role-playing while offering Professor McIntosh's students the opportunity to practice their clinical skills. her students also gain the opportunity to experience the full range of the treatment process, from alliance building and assessment to intervention and termination, while the drama students are exposed to very specialized dimensions of acting that touch on the psychological and interpersonal processes that emerge through exploring these cases in both short and long-term role plays. As one student wrote to us, and I quote, "Heather is so knowledgeable, experienced, and expert. And, capital letters, she is down to earth, accessible, and open to feedback. The perfect combination for a professor." Congratulations, félicitations.
Thank you, Professor Maione, and congratulations, Professor McIntosh, on receiving such a well-deserved honor. Professor Maione, please return to the podium to present Professor Marshall Solins, that he may have conferred upon him the highest recognition that is within the power of this university to grant.
Monsieur le Chancelier, Mr. Chancellor, Marshall Solins is the Charles F. Gray Distinguished Service Professor Emeritus in Anthropology at the University of Chicago. He received an AB from the University of Michigan in 1951, an AM from Michigan in 1952, and a PhD in anthropology from Columbia University in 1954. After teaching at both Columbia and Michigan, he moved to the University of Chicago in 1973. Ethnographe et historien d'Océanie, Marshall Solins est mondialement reconnu. Il a été à l'avant-garde de l'anthropologie pendant plus de 60 ans, consacrant une grande partie de sa carrière à explorer la nature de la culture et la dynamique du changement historique en sondant les liens entre le présent et le passé. Above all, Marshall Solins is known for his insistence on the centrality of culture to anthropological understanding and to explanations of historical change. As he is often quoted as saying, "The notion of culture is a powerful one because we understand through it the meaningful constitution of our lives. In a word," says Professor Solins, "culture is everything. In its forms and transformations, its engagement in the histories of societies and the agencies of persons, culture is the distinctive object of anthropological knowledge." Professor Solins has long been committed to the well-being of Indigenous peoples. His theory of cultural change as the normal process of tradition formation has been invoked in support of the authenticity of Indigenous traditions and oral histories, and has been used to challenge attempts to delegitimize the claims of Indigenous peoples to vital rights. Described as one of the sociocultural anthropology's most influential and substantively important practitioners, and as North America's most eminent and estimable living cultural anthropologist, Professor Solins to the field are recognized as, quote, "nothing short of monumental." Professeur Solins est auteur d'une douzaine de livres et plus de 75 articles, essais et chapitres de livres dans les domaines de l'anthropologie économique, de l'anthropologie culturelle, de la théorie culturelle, ainsi que l'histoire et de l'anthropologie historique d'Océanie. Il a été honoré par les institutions de premier plan en Grande-Bretagne, en France, en Belgique et aux États-Unis. A member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, a fellow of the British Academy, and an honorary fellow of the Royal Anthropological Institute of Great Britain and Ireland. In 2011, he was named Chevalier de l'Ordre des Arts et des Lettres by the French Ministry of Culture. And in the words of Claude Lévi-Strauss, Marshall Solins is one of the most profound and original anthropologists of our time. Monsieur le Chancelier, Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Marshall Solons, that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
I now invite Professor Marshall Solons, McGill's most recent graduate, to deliver the convocation address. Dr. Solons.
Chancellor Megan, Principal and Vice Chancellor Forquier, Mr. Cobbett, Chair of the Board of Governors, Dean Maione, proud parents and guests, and above all, members of the graduating class. I am told I may speak for 5 or 7 minutes on anything I choose. So instead of telling you that graduation is not the end but the beginning, I chose cannibalism in the Fiji Islands. It will help me explain what anthropology is all about and why I'm an honorary member of your graduation class. Paraphrasing Hillary Clinton, our graduate students used to say, "It takes a village to make an anthropologist," meaning the village, usually in some exotic place, that one studied for a year or two in order to get a PhD degree. But since it takes a large international community of scholars to make a doctor honoris causa, I would acknowledge this great honor you do me by reciprocally paying homage first to my colleagues at McGill, past and present, and more generally to the achievements of the anthropological discipline that have made our work possible. In these days, when anthropology seems to have lost its focus, lurching from postmodern uncertainties to neoliberal hegemonies, McGill anthropologists in their teaching and research have kept the faith as custodians of knowledge about the greater part of human history and the planetary chroniclers of cultural diversity. More than that, the McGill Department continues a distinguished tradition of cultural analysis, begun by its founder, Richard Salisbury, continued by Bruce Trigger, and still going strong in the extraordinary comparative work of Margaret Locke, to name only the culture heroes singled out in a recent charter document of the history of the department. McGill scholars have been particularly attentive to the symbolic construction of cultural forms. I mean the way that in any given society, people and things are meaningfully defined and related, which is never the only possible way. Different cultures are in effect alien alternate universes to which anthropologists, however, have been able to travel. Reflecting on the distinctiveness of anthropological investigations, Lévi-Strauss once wrote that of all the sciences, anthropology is without doubt unique in making the most intimate subjectivity into a means of objective demonstration. What he meant was that since a culture involves a certain way that people meaningfully construct themselves and the objects of their existence, we can understand it by reproducing it as our own thought. The human scientist is not in a relation of a thinking person to a mute object of interest. Rather, anthropologists and their like are of the same intellectual nature as the peoples they study. Indeed, inasmuch as these peoples are meaningfully making their modes of life, And inasmuch as we share the same capacities of symbolic invention and understanding, we have the possibility of knowing the cultures of others in ways that are in some respects more powerful than the ways natural scientists know their physical objects. Consider that by contrast, the more the natural scientist discovers about things, say the lectern before which I'm standing, the less such things are like anything in human thought and experience. Despite appearances to the contrary, science shows that there are spaces within and between the molecules that compose it. And beyond that, at the level of quantum mechanics, our knowledge of things defies all common sense of space and time. For an elementary quantum example, we have to accept that the same object is in two different places at the same time. Niels Bohr, the physicist, is often quoted as saying that if you are not shocked by quantum physics, you don't understand it. I'm both shocked and I don't understand it. If natural science starts out with what is familiar to our experience, like the lectern, and ends with something altogether remote, human science works the other way around. One may well begin with something so distant to us as cannibalism in the Fiji Islands during the 19th century, yet end up by finding it logical, which is, after all, a mental state of our own. In 1929, the British anthropologist A.M. Hocart recounted the formal speech of a Fijian chief presenting a reward to the carpenter who had built his fine canoe. The chief apologized that he could not offer the carpenter in reward a cooked man or a raw woman, for Christianity, he explained, has spoiled our feasts. The cooked man refers to an enemy cannibal victim. The raw woman would be a virgin daughter of the chief offered as a wife. One immediate anthropological question this poses is why the woman should be equivalent to the cannibal victim. The brief answer is that they have the same finality or function, which is the beneficial reproduction of the society. The woman directly by bearing children, the cannibal victim as a sacrifice whose consumption in concert with the god procures divine benefits, notably in agriculture and human fertility. Further, given the relationship of raw women to cooked men, one can understand why in some parts of Fiji, a fine war club is a necessary betrothal gift, in effect compensating the family for the future loss of their daughter by the anticipated gain of an enemy victim. Enough said? This cannibalism is becoming logical, and logic is something going on inside ourselves. Pardoning the pun, a custom that began as strange and remote as cannibalism in the South Seas has been assimilated and internalized, that is, as our own good sense. Since cultural practices are meaningfully constructed, and since we ourselves are symbolizing beings, we have the privilege of knowing others by reproducing in the operations of our own mind the very ways they are culturally organized. The method and the content of the investigation are the same in nature. The most intimate subjectivity becomes the means of an objective demonstration. If one dare paraphrase Descartes' famous proof of his existence, I think symbolically, therefore I can think them. That's how I got to be standing here in this honorable place, by thinking them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Salins. I think the enthusiasm of the applause indicates how well received your insightful and indeed humorous remarks were. I wish I'd have signed up for anthropology now. Sounds a lot more interesting than political science. We'll now proceed with the conferral of academic degrees. I call upon Associate Provost Professor Angela Campbell to begin the formal proceedings. Professor Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Good morning. I am pleased to invite the students graduating from the Faculty of Arts for the conferral of their degrees. This is a truly joyous event in the cycle of the university's life, particularly at McGill, where we have such talented and accomplished students. Each student crossing the stage this morning will be greeted by the Chancellor, the Principal, or the Chair of the Board of Governors. Students receiving their first degree shall remove their mortarboard or hat. At the center of the stage, they will be symbolically capped, signaling ceremonially the conferral of the degree. Students who have already earned a university degree will keep their mortarboard on and will be congratulated by a tap on the shoulder. The parchment or the degree itself is given to students by the dean or delegate after they leave the stage and have a photo taken. You may see or have seen some students wearing red or white scarves. All self-identifying Indigenous students, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, are entitled to wear graduation scarves at convocation, in the community, and at any at all future McGill events that they attend. The red scarf is for those receiving a degree, and the white scarf is for those receiving a diploma or a certificate. The feather on the scarf has two meanings: respect for the person, and it marks an amazing or special event. The Confederacy belt signifies attachment to and respect for the land on which we live, and the turtle symbolizes the inclusiveness of all nations and respect for diversity. It is fitting that we recognize our Indigenous graduates in this way, just as we recognize that McGill University is on land which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst Indigenous peoples, including the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe nations. We acknowledge and we thank the diverse Indigenous people whose presence has marked and enriched this territory on which peoples of the world now gather. En vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés par le Sénat de McGill, je déclare que les candidats dont le nom figure sur la liste officielle des diplômés de l'université, qu'ils soient présents ou absents, ont satisfait aux exigences de leur grade, diplôme ou certificat respectif. By virtue of the powers conferred upon me by McGill's Senate, I declare that the candidates whose names appear in the university's official list of graduates, whether they be present or absent, have satisfied the requirements for their respective degrees, diplomas, or certificates. By tradition at McGill, we begin with students receiving graduate degrees, followed by students obtaining undergraduate degrees. I now invite Professor Emeritus Bruce Shore to introduce the graduates, and Professor Antonia Maioni, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to congratulate all of our graduating students this morning. Congratulations to the class of 2017. Félicitations.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Anthropology, Ian Kalman. Erika Michelle Lagalis. Karen Elizabeth McAllister. Catherine Susan Sinclair. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Social Work, Cara Lynn Fletcher. Thank you. For the degree of Master of Arts in Anthropology, Siti Hazaria Abu Bakar. Alicia Mori. For the degree of Master of Arts in Geography, Melody Krista Lynch. For the degree of Master of Science, Applied in Couple and Family Therapy, Danelle Annette Barnard. One, please. One's for you. Middle name, Leanne. Sarah Leanne Burley. Sheila Lynn Clark. Jessica Fortin. Carolyn Hoppenheim. Julia Horowitz. Marie-Pierre Laberge. Stephen Legare. Anita Mehta. Elsa Perez. Constanza Rosemary L'Empereur de Saint-Pierre. Carol Sandy. Ashley DeLay. Lou Andre Joan Ryu Goodall. For the degree of Master of Social Work, Yolaine Williams. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology, Jacqueline Elizabeth Anderson with distinction. Taylor Anderson. Emily Johnstone Booker. Catherine Freedom Brooks with distinction. Mary Angela Cannon. Sarin Cho with distinction. Lindsay Grossfield with distinction. Lori Naomi Gutman, distinction. Bailey Hardy. Shelby Hua. Julia Lee Jared. Lucille Jane Lastinger, first class joint honors in anthropology and in gender, sex, feminism, and sociology. And there's something I can't read. I just can't figure out what it says. Petta Tancred Prize and Dean's Honor List, and something I couldn't read. Paige Nicole McGrogan. Ella Rain Moynihan. Pavagadi? Kira or Kira? Kira Pavagadi. François Pispilac Levasseur. Kimberly Diane Reed. Samuel Lemon. Estelle Alice Samuel Lemon. Okay. Madeleine Lover. Madeline Lover Suggs. Nikhil Tangirila. Ryan Tepper. Mary Frances Turk. Phoebe Elizabeth Unetic. Homa Wahabi, first class honors in anthropology and Dean's Honor List. Colette Swain Ward. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Environment, Michael Adamson, with distinction and first-class honors. Ella Belfer, the Doug Purvis Foundation Prize in Economic Policy, first-class joint honors in Economics and Environment, and Dean's Honor List. Amanda Marilyn Katcha. Christine Chang. Christina Giffen. Annalise Edith Amy Reher, Hamilton. Joan Florence Herman, first-class honors in Environment. Laura Holden. Leah Renee Jones. Natalie Manukian. Talia Joss Sternbach. Elliot Kun Tai Tan. Yuzi Wang. Ashley Marie Zastar-Zelinsky. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Geography, Jana Bawaba. Michelle Jifa Blasu. Timothy Daniel Brash. Johanna Lee Bush, Dean's Honor List. Jennifer Paula Gelliff with distinction. Ellen Gillies, first-class honors. Rebecca Jane Goldberg. Kim Halle. Ellis Auntie Johannes Hemberg. Gal Kramer with distinction. Donga Lee. Harriet Olivia Megson. Tobias Moore, Dean's Honor List. Isaac Anthony Reitman with distinction. Elise Soulier, Dean's Honor List. Ian Tattersfield. Michelle Wang. Thank you. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History, Victoria Seiko. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in International Development Studies, Aya Abdelaziz. Leah Abizaid Dow, with distinction, first-class honors in International Development Studies. Natalie Abemeyer. Vanessa Asseman. Isabel Constance Albee with distinction. Karina Alibai. You keep one. Is this Jules? Jules Sabine Bagshaw. Thank you. Haya I Beg. Farah Ahmed Bakr. Erland Bondas Bjorklund with distinction, first-class honors in international development studies. Thank you. Rachel Glenwright Bloom with distinction, first-class joint honors in geography and international development studies. Kim Boucher-Morin, Dean's Honor List. Quinn Ashton Brown. Geneviève Brûlé-Ouellette. Michelle Calvert. Okay, Rachel Alexandra Carluccio. Catherine Noel Chamberlain. George Aurelian Coatu. William Sinclair Cleveland. Natasha Sabine Como with distinction and first-class honors. Jessica Condemi. Samantha Sidney Centeno Coronel. Giulio Dalledone, first-class honors and Dean's Honor List. Gabriella Daly. Amelia Louise Dangerfield. Elena Curran David. Matthew Isaac Davis. Hannah Dawson. Midana de Almada. Lauren De Poli. Shanaz Habib Danani. Catherine Maria Donville. Nela Doom Varano. Oliver Dubois Dubélé. Okay. Isabelle Dufresne Leinert, first-class honors and Dean's Honor List. Ashmita Dutaré. Dina El Saharti. Sophia Eno. Ipak Ertan. Jessica Ann Farber, distinction and first-class honors. Madeline Ford. Kate Jacqueline Foster. Frédérique Fournier. Jacob Fraxon with distinction. Naoko Funahashi. Brenda Garcia Becerril. Victor Pierre-Claude Gassman, Honors International Development Studies. Marie-Julie Gauthier. Gabrielle Claudine Garecht. Tina Gamagani, Honors International Development Studies. Glorioso. Lovely name. Nicole Glorioso. Hedda Goodim, First Class Honors. Laura Marie Hélène Hamdan with Distinction and First Class Honors. Maya Ann Hanowitz. Thank you. Samantha Hines with Distinction. Mabel Jane Harriman Smith. Grace Elizabeth Hebert. Jennifer Eileen Henderson. Béline Yael Hermet. Mashal Hussein. Karim Essam Ibrahim. Victoria Jacqueline. Madeline Grandy James. Akbar Jassani. Haya Hassan Kamal. Tasha Aliyah Kara, for distinction and first class joint honors in gender, sex, and it's abbreviated here again. Sorry, and international development studies. I'm gonna have Donga Kim. I know, I'm waiting for them to. Dongan Kim with distinction. Lord Claire Dorian Kimbimbi with distinction. Anastasia Klimova. Maya Sienna Corey. Alyssa Helene Kurzman. Sonia Eden Larbi Aissa. Hyukjun Lee. Eloi Le Secrétin. Hannah Letich. Alexandra Sonia Levine, first class honors. Nicholas Morgan Lineweaver. Derek Edward Linker. Sarah Marie Little. Jennifer Lynn Lockerbie, distinction and first class joint honors with political science. Florie Longuepay, first class honors and Dean's honor list. Tanya Martineau. Elisha Marcharia. Tala Mahmoud, honors and distinction. Thank you. Anna Josephine Marchesi with distinction. Meredith? Okay. Jessica Erin Maravici with distinction. Lisa Mergen, Dean's honor list. the J, okay. Courtney Leah Melonja. Shavana Amina Mohammed. Siobhan Maureen Monahan. Jeremy Monk with distinction. Manon Morel. Alex James Morrison. Faram Sefer. Sophie Alexis Monk. Shona Masimbe, first class honors and Dean's honor list. Jadida Liana Nabwangu. Laurence No, first class honors. Julie Neal. Patricia Daniela Nians, first class honors and Dean's honor list. Alexandria Lee Nagayan. Holly Ann Norris, first class honors. Robin Nyameche, distinction and first class honors. Okay. Clarice Olavarria Artore. Andrew Pappenheim. Samantha Pilch. Jacqueline Alexandra Plunkett with distinction. Is that Ragone? Christina Maria Ragon, Honors International Development Studies. Charlotte Emmanuelle Reboul, Dean's Honor List. Jessica Jane Redmond, First Class Honors. Laurence Stéphanie Robert. Julia Snow Rodriguez, Distinction and First Class Honors. Gabriela Rodriguez Ramirez. Julia Eileen Rogers. Dean Rosen. Seungwon Ryu. Hannah Louise Sandrock. Margot Shapiro. Samiha Sharif, Honors International Development Studies. Nikki Siamaki with distinction and first class joint honors and with World Islamic and Middle East Studies. Alexandra Zoe Siegel. Camille Sim. Aurélie Skrobik Gottfried, First Class Honors, Dean's Honor List. Roland Soisson Sellinger. Abigail Marion Smith. Clarissa Bailey Sorensen. Rebecca Olivia Alexia Stroik. Aisha Tulraja, excuse me, please. Chedine Tazi with distinction and first-class honors. Alice Tabul Boquet, first-class honors. Claire Elizabeth Teichman, first-class honors. Merve Ipek Tezel, first-class honors. Celine Thomas, first-class honors and Dean's Honor List. Lauren Emily Tocalino, also receiving a Bachelor of Music. Natalia Trujillo, first-class honors. Priska Rachel Julie Umbaya. Juanita Valencia with distinction. Marilyn Maria Vergas with distinction and first-class honors and the Norman Prentice Award. Aurore Visuzain. Siki Wang, Dean's Honor List. Sienna Marie Zampino. Olivia Sarah Zed. Shunan Zhao Gao, Dean's Honor List. Bixiao Zhu. Rani Al Nasir, honors in political science. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, Kelsey Adams, Dean's Honor List. Sulmin An, first-class honors and Dean's Honor List. Noor Akort, first-class honors and Dean's Honor List. Maria Lilian Alcaraz, first-class honors and Dean's Honor List. Anais Ames Bull with distinction. Thank you. Ciara Grace Antosky. Ali Karem Ataboglu. Jana Elizabeth Arbor. Amanda Argento. Quinn Sky Ashkenazi, the Emmanuel Tavares Memorial Prize and Dean's Honor List. Alara Atako. Just read out the middle name? Okay. Farize Avare. Annie Babayan. Diamila, the middle name? And Diamila Baptiste, first-class honors, Dean's Honor List. Anna Maria Baranello. Natasha Lee Barchak. Vanessa Veronica Bator. Juliette Bélanger. Olivia Erin Benchetrit. Esther Bendayan. Haley Benedict with distinction. Lauriane Benoit. Catherine Chantal Bertrand. Dila Bilal. Sarah Lynn Bressard. Darcy Bro. Alexa Brown with distinction. Gabriella Marie Buck. Robert Roger Hassan Bouderi. Christina Cachese with distinction. Yvonne Herkun. Oksana Kaivano. Anya Kajal. Amanda Rose Camilleri. Devin Chazen, Dean's Honor List. Bogdan Ketraru. Okay, Valentine Louise Cécile Clary, First Class Honors, Dean's Honor List. Lauren Ashley Coates. Emma Claire Cocatre Zildjian with distinction. Jessica Cohen, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Elisa Cordero Matos. Kayla Christine Damata. Lauren Nicole Deckelbaum, Dean's Honor List. Nicholas Reed Denton. Aisha Day. Aurelia Eleftheria Di Fabrizio. Thank you. Alexander Dusick with distinction. Hey, come here. It's okay, it's only a bottle of water and it's closed. This is my grandniece. Sherry Endelman with distinction. Nicole Jewel Ewanek. Nina Feynman Adelman. Natalie Yael Factor. Uruj Fatima. Megan Ruby Fawcett. Julia Sarah Ferrone. Ari Maxim Feistel. Michal Friedman. Emma Charlotte Galarno, Dean's Honor List. Paula Garces. Claudia Jem with distinction. Erica Lauren Gentili. Congratulations. Good to see you. First Class Honors in Psychology and Dean's Honor List. Jenna Sylvia Jaffard. Francis Jafuni. Katie Lena Glatt. Jocelyn Michelle Goldberg. Jessica Danielle Goldson. Isabel Lucy Gore Ward. Victoria Anna Gratkowski. Jessica Gupta. Yara Hamami. Anne-Marie Elou. Ashley Pui Wu Ho. Lucy Bradley Hoffman. Mila Hua. Jessica Olivia Hunter, Dean's Honor List. Frances Elizabeth Johnstone. Elsa Taylor Coleman. Leal Julia Kamel. Margot Ann Kelly Hedrick. Denise Keskinel. Min Seo Kim. Adrienne Iris Kinman. Alexandria Elizabeth Kiss Rusk. Christine Lorraine Copenal. Bendik Johan Kroken. Sonia Kuo. Samlao Kutana. Luina Lau. Liliana Laricha. Marianne Alexandra Lau, First Class Honors in Psychology and Dean's Honor List. Li Ming Shermaine Lee. Sarah Jane Lefebvre. Maria Louise Least, First Class Honors. Alexandra Lelyuk, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Chenshi Lee. Kayla Ariel Lipson, Dean's Honor List. Fiona Lowe. Daniel James Lynch with distinction. Victoria Marie Mallet. Sarantia Samantha Maltezos, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Rachel Markham, First Class Honors, Dean's Honor List. Thank you. Zachary Max Markovsky. Last name is Mascret. Charlotte Kingdow Monique Mascret. Melissa Mastro Giuseppe. Thank you. Natalia Eleni Fuchs McClellan. Caitlin Charisse McKegney. McPherson? Matthew Graham McPherson. Paige Mitrakos. Jessica Minyaka. Amaryllis Mirly Courtois with distinction. You're welcome. Adam Mohammed. Noor Anis Fazeha Mohammed Farid. Matilda Nottage. Hanya Ahmed Tariq A. Omar. Kay Monroe. Riona Kathleen Morgan with distinction. Serene Sarah Munjian. Mikoto Nakajima. Vivian No. Hazal Oslan. Paige Elizabeth Polensky. Shengyi Pan. Leanne Porfilio Mathieu with distinction. Kelsey Powell, Dean's Honor List. Portia Sophia Proctor, Dean's Honor List. Andrea Resendes with distinction. Leandra Christina Paoloni with distinction. Anne-Marie Parent with distinction. Sol Park. Alexandre Renault with distinction. Jean Hope Halifax Richardson. Gul Saeed. Rachel Anne Saint-Amand. Andrea Veronica Salas Garcia. Olivia Sanzo. Kelsey Amanda Sazant. Last name? Samantha Scholes, Dean's Honor List. Amanda Sevi with distinction. Jillian May Shelley. Jill Sloan Siegler. Saloni Singh, Dean's Honor List. Jing Song, Dean's Honor List. Natalie Charlotte Sweeney. Gabriella Shidlovsky. Ho Fung Kevin Tam. Ryan Patrick Tobin with distinction. Francis Truong. Maria Tsafadas. Cleona Tsang. Stavrula Tsimiklis. Uliana Tsibina. Martina Testa Valentim. Georgia Rose Vatcher with distinction. Kayla Vesera. Time to walk. Villalobos. Not Villalobos. Okay. Alexandra Villalobos. Jingfei Wang, distinction and first class honors. Rongchen Wang. Rotong Wang. Max Robert Weinberg. Okay. Talia Wigdor with distinction. William Wong. Chi Swan Wu. Chloe Yam. Shijia Yu. Segolin Zeller. Thank you. Right here. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Razan Al-Hurani. Joshua Simon Bayana. Magali Marie-Christine Carrier-Girard. En français? Non, c'est en français, oui. Rosemary Laure Cavillon, First Class Honors. Rachel Chan. Hillary Margaret May Sharon. Hannah Catherine Chubb with distinction. Leila El Adlouni. Etienne Zolgard Franchi. Sade Afisha George, Dean's Honor List. Caroline Glasgow Tremblay, Dean's Honor List. Hannah Golden. Katarina Gordichuk. Esther Guak. Talia Hirschon. William Hughes. Thank you. Renee Augustine Iwo, the Albert Hirschman Prize, First Class Joint Honors in International Development Studies and Sociology, the Norman Prentice Award, Dean's Honor List. Got it. And last name is Janigan? Yeah. Okay. Victoria Emmeline Janigan. Beste Carly. Sonia? Okay. Sonia Kim. Sarah Ann or Sarah Ann? Sarah Ann Lalonde. Marissa Lee. Jamin Lee. Thank you. Stephen Von Lofton Jr. Emma Lupinacci. Ryu Mark Matthias. Samantha Magetchi, Dean's Honor List. Shannon Elaine O'Brien. Thank you. Bouquet Ondes. Sarah Kate Penchode. Thank you, that helps. Andrew Roy. Thank you. Matthew Chiman C. Shelby Jenna Wennis, Dean's Honor List. Shuyan Yin, first class honors and Dean's Honor List. Annika Yoon. For the degree of Bachelor of Social Work, Hilary Kajang Atabangawang. Meshu Begum. Rosangel Blanco Aguiar with distinction. Alyssa Grace Coughlin, Dean's Honor List. Antonio Dopera. Thank you. Sarah Dudley. Jamie Sky Farnsworth. Laura Ann Fiore. Just one, you keep one. Thank you. Paolo Roberto Fumineri with distinction. Nina Herms with distinction. Sylvie Jones, distinction. Christina Claravritinos with distinction. I think I mispronounced Christina's last name. It's Calavritrinos, and thank you, Christina. Candace Veronica Kensley. Heather Laborn. Barbara Masikova, Dean's Honor List. Sundas Mata with distinction. Megan Millette. Vanessa Miglialo. Frances Ruth Moore, Dean's Honor List. Thank you. Morgan Magdalene Page. Scott Lewis Paradis, the McGill Alumni Society Prize and Dean's Honor List. Nicole Claudine Pindling with distinction. Mathieu Pompey. Thank you. Christina Scalia with distinction. Fauziat Serenjogi. Caroline Souffrant with distinction. Katia Texera, the School of Social Work Alumni Award and Dean's Honor List. Clémence Thibault, Dean's Honor List. Nechema Weinbaum with distinction. Ziwen Ye. All set?
Thank you, Professor Emeritus Shore. Ms. Maria Lees will now say a few words as this ceremony's valedictorian. Ms. Lees.
Mr. Chancellor, members of the Platform Party, fellow graduates and guests. Before I begin on the part of the graduating class, I would also like to acknowledge that we are seated here today on unceded land, which has historically been a part of the traditional territory of the Kanyen-Kanhaka Indigenous peoples. I would like to thank all members of this gathering for traveling to be with us on this day of celebration, including individuals of all cultures and backgrounds from across the world. Without each and every one of your journeys, the plethora of diversity we are immersed in here at McGill would not be nearly as rich. Fellow graduates, it seems like only yesterday we were tearing open our McGill acceptance letters in nervous anticipation, wondering if we would be honored with the opportunity of pursuing a McGill education. 4 years have passed since then, and I now stand before you with great privilege in saying, we made it. From the exhausting days and many, many tears shed at McLennan, the even longer nights we withstood at OAP, to the daily samosa hunts, we have succeeded in our journey to be seated here today as the graduating class of 2017. I would like to take a moment to reflect back on some of the experiences that got us here. I remember all the way back to first year, as we gathered in this very location, eagerly waiting in nervous anticipation for the one, the only, beach day. In second year, we witnessed the untimely slaughter of our beloved McLennan Tim Hortons by the corporate monster of Premier Moisson. Third year flew by in a blur, complete with the infamous Smooth scandals. Fourth year was filled with memorable occurrences. It all began as we readily entered campus last September, expecting to take on our final year as seniors who knew this campus like the back of our hand, only to be confronted by the dreadful construction. We had literal physical obstacles between us and graduation, as we attempted in vain to make it across campus in under 10 minutes. To further augment the barriers of fourth year, all books and necessary materials for success were removed from our campus and relocated a grand total of 4 blocks to the corner of Park and Prince Arthur. Thanks, management. If trudging those 4 blocks through the ghetto between Park and Milton Gates with 5 textbooks strapped to our backs is not a statement of our tenacity and determination to graduate, I'm not sure what is. And last but not least, let us never forget March 15th, 2017, the first day since the Great Ice Storm of 1998, the second largest natural disaster in Canadian history, that McGill shut down for a snow day. Thank you, McGill, for finally closing your doors during the equivalent of a natural disaster. Now, just as great as these wonderful moments are, it is equally important for us to reflect back on some of the struggles we have overcome. This degree came with a price, and I'm not referring to a simple monetary value, but a cost much steeper than that. We must acknowledge the grave tolls on our mental health that have affected every single graduate seated here today. I have witnessed friends and fellow peers crushed by the pressures of McGill. I have seen healthy individuals come into this school full of optimism and vigor, only to leave here 4 years later with anxiety, depression, and eating disorders. Although today is a day of celebration, we must also remember those who could not overcome these barriers, and as such, were not able to finish this journey with us. With that said, we must acknowledge the individuals we are forever thankful to for supporting us through these demanding past 4 years. First, thank you to all the student groups, volunteers, and activists at McGill for being there to support not only McGill and local communities, but national and global initiatives. Your continued efforts do not go unappreciated. Thank you to our professors, TAs, and invigilators for becoming our greatest role models and invaluable sources of knowledge and inspiration. Thank you to our primary and secondary school teachers who served as so much more than just educators, but became mentors, supports, and role models. Thank you to the peers and friends we have made here at McGill. These relationships are so much more important than the piece of paper that we'd received today, for together we have learned how to embrace the McGill environment and from it grow both as students and as people. Lastly, the most important thank you goes out to our parents, families, and communities who have supported us in every endeavor we have undertook since day one. Although the most deserving of our appreciation, you are the group that is most often invisible. But please know that not a single one of us could be where we are today without you. As we reflect back on some of the times that got us here today, and I'm sure many of you, are wondering what this degree will do for us tomorrow, in a month from now, or even 10 years down the road. How will we use this piece of paper to accomplish our hopes, our dreams, and our aspirations? I believe it is important for us to look to inspirational figures of our past to answer this question. In the words of Malcolm X, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Through withstanding these grueling past 4 years, we have been prepared for capturing that future. I am confident and honored to know that I am standing amongst the next prime ministers, lawyers, great writers, doctors, and professors of tomorrow. Our degrees are not a testament to the knowledge we have attained, but rather to the promise and responsibility of what we will accomplish with this great privilege. This past year, we all witnessed a nation make a grave mistake in denying an extremely qualified, competent, and powerful woman her rightful position as a world leader. In the words of this woman, I believe that the rights of women and girls is the unfinished business of the 21st century. It is up to us to ensure that the injustices of the past and present do not dictate the path of the future. So yes, it is important that we look back to leaders of the past for inspiration for revolution. However, it is these exact leaders who have failed to solve the wrongs of today. I would like to quote G.D. Anderson, a poet born and raised in our very own Montreal, in stating, "Feminism isn't about making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. Let's finish the business of the 21st century, class of 2017, and become the generation of change that will attain gender equality once and for all." However, there is so much more unfinished business to which we must attend. The current injustices against Canadian Indigenous peoples must be put to rest once and for all. The The lack of mental health care and significant stigma surrounding those suffering from these invisible diseases should be addressed. Issues of racism, global inequality, oppression, and intolerance of diversity must be abolished. And what about the injustices against our planet? It is our responsibility to end the needless exploitation of natural resources, the poisoning of our waters, and the pollution of the air we breathe. Not only is this an abuse, a violation of our privileges, it is a crime against future generations. This degree has not only exposed us to the world of academia, but it has provided us with the knowledge and privilege of a platform for change. So ask yourselves, graduates, what change will you stand for? Félicitations, congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Ms. Lees. Will the graduating class please stand? À titre de chancelier de l'Université McGill, je déclare et confirme que chacun de vous a maintenant le droit à la distinction de grade, diplôme ou certificat qui vous a été conféré avec tous les honneurs, droits, privilèges et responsabilités qui y sont pertinents. In my capacity as Chancellor of McGill University, I declare and confirm that each of you is now entitled to the distinction of the degree, diploma, or certificate that has been conferred upon you, with all the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities that are pertinent thereto. Congratulations. Félicitations. The University Secretary General, Ms. Zita Gorogovska, will deliver the closing remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Dear graduates of 2017, this year marks Montreal's 375th anniversary and Canada's 150th. This year also presents a time of great change for you. As you make your way into the world, you will undoubtedly find yourselves in positions of leadership and responsibility. So, in this historic year, which connects your achievements to those of our city and our country, I'd like to leave you, our next generations of leaders and change agents, with a few words from one of Canada's preeminent sociologists of the 20th century, John Porter, who said the following: "People underestimate their capacity for change. There is never a right time to do a difficult thing. A leader's job is to help people have vision of their potential." Je vous encourage à continuer votre travail de leadership et de contribuer à enrichir notre histoire, l'histoire de notre ville, de notre pays et du monde entier. En vous souhaitant le meilleur des succès, je vous dis bonne chance et bonne continuation. Félicitations.
To conclude this ceremony, please stand as Dr. Tracy Smith-Bassett leads us in the singing of our national anthem.
True patriot love in